Hello guys, my name is Relo and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to be talking about a couple of things actually. But first, before I get to that, I just want to highlight that I'm actually recording this video and it's load shedding right now. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just thought, you know what, this is the best time for this specific video, right? So first thing first, I'm gonna be talking about things that your woman or the woman that you want to be with wants you to do or would like for you to do, but she'll never actually come to you and tell you that, hey, I want you to do these specific things, you know? So she expects you to know, right? So to come up with this video, I had to ask a couple of people their insight for their input with regards to certain things. You know, like for instance, I know I'm not a woman, guys. I know most of you are probably gonna come for me and you're gonna be asking questions like, how do you know these things? I'm not a woman. I'm gonna be giving you some things as they are, and also I'm gonna share my thoughts because this is literally what I'm doing. You know, I'm gonna take a certain point and I'm gonna share my thoughts. Also, I looked at certain things and I was like, is this reasonable or is this not reasonable? And then based on all those points, I thought, you know what, this is the best way to approach this, or this is the best take on this, right? So without wasting time, let's jump to it. All right, so the first one that I want to start with is opening doors. I know I'm starting already with some old tradition that has been long forgotten, you know. So with opening doors, a lot of guys have lost that tradition, you know. There are a lot of videos on social media where people are like, can't you open your own door? Don't you have your own hands and stuff like that? I want to just say this to you. Like, if you have a woman or you want a woman, then you gotta make sure that you open that door, bro, because she will appreciate that. She will never come to you and say, hey, open the door for me, unless if she's really bold enough and she just wants a baby that she's gonna be teaching every step of the way. So if you are the man that you say you are, then you gotta expect yourself to make that move of opening that door, right? So open the door for her, be it a car or be it a house, anything. When you're entering a building, open the door for her. She's really gonna appreciate it, and also it's gonna give you the idea that you are the man that you say you are. You know, it's gonna come with the confidence. It's gonna come with the everything. You know, also it's gonna show that you're proud of being her man. You know, so you gotta make sure that you open that door. As small as it might seem, as much as the tradition has been lost, it shouldn't be lost in your relationship, because if you build a relationship that is based on social media, then you're never gonna be happy. You're never gonna be happy. That's the first thing. And also, your relationships will always come to an end, because what social media does is it works with it works in a certain way that it will push whatever comes on it, whatever people post, whether it's rubbish or whatever, they'll bring it there. Now, if you're gonna be a person who goes and collects that rubbish or that nonsense or that all those factors that result in relationships ending, and you apply in your own relationship, then as a guy, you are gonna your relationship is just gonna end. And then from there, you come and say, okay, fine. Why do my relationships always end? It's because you're not actually doing the things the right way. You are actually listening to social media. You're listening to content creators and not necessarily people who want the best for your relationship. You know, as a content creator, so long as you push something to the algorithm and the algorithm then pushes it out, and from there they get paid, that's about it. In this specific case, we want your relationship to last. So open that door. Make sure that you treat your lady like a lady. And obviously, I'm also gonna bring some attacks on the ladies, but this one is like mainly on the gents. And if you're a lady and you are watching this, confirm or yeah, like this is a debatable topic, because I didn't ask everyone that I know. I didn't ask everyone in the world, you know. So if you're watching this and you have something that you are not agreeing with, comment section, we'll tackle it together. So that is the first point. So second point is insist on doing things, or do things without being asked. Like for instance, let's say for instance you go to her place and you find out that the light is flickering or the light is not working. So what you can do is insist on buying the light bulb and put it there. and make sure that when you leave, everything is in order. Trust me, she's gonna appreciate it. She's gonna know that, you know what, I'm not with a baby in my life, I'm with a man. And I'm sure you, as a gent who's watching this, you probably are asking yourself, like, how do I become a man? That's how you probably came across this video. So make sure that you insist on doing things without her asking, or also if she's doing something, just go there and insist, hey, I insist, I'm gonna do 1 2 3, you know. She's really gonna appreciate that. She's gonna see that this is a person who's responsible. This is a person who cares also about my well-being. This is a person who really cares about my environment and stuff like that. This is a person who pays attention to their surroundings, you know. So as a person, make sure that you insist. Make sure that as a man, you insist on doing certain things. The same way you are gonna insist on opening that door, insist on fixing that light bulb, insist on insist on doing whatever. But bottom line, she's a woman, and make sure that she's happy. All right, moving on to point number 3. So point number 3 is on compliments, and this is something that a lot of people suffer with. You know, some people don't know how to give good compliments. Like, read the room, know what you're doing, and give a compliment that is going to complement the situation, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say for instance, you meet a girl, she's dressed, she's going to an interview. Give her a compliment that is going to increase her confidence. Otherwise, if you give her a compliment that is going to make her feel like she's dressed like a sex worker, then trust me, she's never going to feel confident about that interview. She's probably going to go there and mess everything up. And if you want that woman, she's never going to be yours, my bro. I'm telling you this. So if she's going to that interview, you can give her a compliment that is in line with that. Like, for instance, you can give her a compliment that is in line with that. A compliment that is going to increase her confidence. That is what we're looking for. And obviously, if it's your girlfriend and she's dressed for a job interview, or she's going to a very important function where she's going to meet very important people and stuff like that, give her a compliment that, obviously I'm not saying lie, I'm saying give her a compliment that is going to make her feel like, you know what, I can conquer the world, you know. That is the first part. The second part is, when you're giving your woman compliments, avoid giving her compliments that will always feel like she's being sexualized. What I mean by that is, do not make the mistake of every time when you give a compliment, your compliments are always about her body. Compliments are always about how her body is shaped, about how, like, bro, relax. Do not always give her compliments about that. There is time and place for everything. So you gotta make sure that you read the room, read the environment, and give her a compliment that is gonna complement the situation, right? If she's wearing some nice PJs, well, I call them PJs because I don't know what everything else is called, right? PJs, wearing some nice PJs, and she's about to go to sleep, and there you are. There you can give her a compliment that is bedroom related, you know. Then you can give her a compliment that is bedroom related. But bottom line, make sure that you know exactly where to give her a compliment and where to not give her a compliment on certain aspects, you know. So compliments, good compliments, very important. Another thing, make sure that you know your woman, because these things are not based on every woman in the world. Make sure that you know your own woman, and make sure that you know what she wants, make sure that you know what she appreciates. And by knowing those factors, trust me, you would have a guideline or guidance on what to compliment her on a specific event, right? Good compliments, very important. She would really appreciate that because she will never ask you to compliment her. Okay, so moving on to the next point. I don't know how many points I've given now, but anyway, you count, I've lost count. So moving on to the next point, and that is, let's say for instance, okay, this one is basically give her your jacket. You know, she'll never ask you for your jacket when she's feeling cold and you guys are outside and stuff like that. So this applies to whether you are trying to ask a girl out or you are with your girlfriend. So this one is more linked towards a girl who's already your girlfriend, but also if a girl is giving you the energy that she's interested and you're in a cold place, just give her your jacket. She's really gonna appreciate that, and also it's gonna increase your points in her eyes, you know. So if it's your girlfriend and you're outside, let's say you went out and now it's chilly and all that, and you're waiting for your ride, or you're walking to the car or anything of that sort, trust me, give her a jacket. She's really gonna appreciate that because it's gonna show that you care. It's gonna show that you're a gentleman. It's gonna show that you are a man who is willing to allow her to be feminine around you. You know. So, and that is something that a lot of people don't allow their partners to do. They don't allow their girls to be feminine around them. They want their girls to be paying half the bill and all those. Man, no, don't do that, man. Don't do that. So anyway, moving on to the next point, which is when you go out on a date, pay that bill, my G. Pay that bill. You know, some girls are not comfortable with asking you to pay for a bill, because some girls they grew up in a certain way, you know, and also they've been exposed to certain things. So if you go out with her and then you guys had a fantastic time and it's time for the bill to be paid for, do not be that guy who's gonna be like, pay half. Nah. The moment you say pay half, I'm gonna tell you this much. If she's your girlfriend, now it has decreased to a certain level. If it's like, if she wants to do a certain thing, if she wants to spend on a certain thing, let her do it at her own accord. But when it comes to you taking the responsibility of paying for your girlfriend, when it comes to a dinner or anything of that sort, I'm gonna tell you this much. She's not gonna ask you, but it's something that you gotta do. If she's the type who doesn't like asking for things, the type who likes just, you know what, I don't wanna bother him, you gotta know. Obviously, you gotta know the type of woman that you're with, but you gotta know that, you know what, I'm taking care of this bill, which is also linked to the I insist type of mentality, you know. So make sure that you pay that bill. Make sure that you do whatever it takes to make sure that there's no splitting of the bill, because the moment she says split the bill, she's already seeing a friend. If she's a girlfriend, she's already seeing someone that she cannot be married to in the future. If it's a girl that you want to be with, she's already seeing someone that she doesn't want to be with, but someone that she can be friends with. I'm sure you know that you can split the bill with your friends, but you cannot split the bill with your girlfriends. I'm telling you that right now. So make sure that you don't do that. Okay, so moving on to the next point, which is defending her, protection. You know, so your woman is definitely gonna be in some messed up situation at some point in your relationship. There's gonna be a point whereby she's having an argument with another woman or anything of that sort, be it a sister or be it a friend and stuff like that. You as the man, you should not go there and say, hey babe, you are wrong for this, or you should have done 1 2 3 like this or anything. Like no, oh you're being unfair or what. No. Like in front of people, I'm telling you this, protect her. Make sure that you're by her side. Even if she's being the worst person ever, even if she's wrong, protect her. Be by her side, support her. And then when you're indoors, now you can tell her the truth. That hey, you know what you did there, you should have done it like 1 2 3. She's really gonna appreciate that, because it's gonna show that when Ayazin, you respect her. She was corrected, but at the same time not embarrassed. And I don't think you would want to embarrass your own girlfriend. So make sure that you protect her. Protection also comes down to, let's say for instance someone is fighting her and they're about to hit her and stuff like that. Make sure that you protect your woman, my G. Make sure that you protect her. So moving on to the next point, and this point is very, it's not everyone really appreciates this, but you gotta know your woman again. I really like emphasizing on that, because everything that you're hearing, you need to first know your woman, and then from there you can apply them, right? And that is public affection. Some people get public affection wrong and stuff like that. I'm not saying go all out and start smooshing her and stuff like that. I'm basically saying public affection is things like like just giving her a kiss before she leaves, or just giving her a hug before she leaves, or holding a hand in a place that is super crowded, and soaring through the crowd whilst holding a hand. That is also public affection. Or just hugging her when you're about to say bye, or when you're greeting her and stuff like that, or keeping her in your arms. All those factors, those are part of public affection. However, some people are not comfortable with it, and obviously each person has their own reasons why they are not comfortable with public affection. However, I also want to emphasize that if you meet someone and that person is not okay with public affection, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is cheating. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person is seeing somebody else and they don't want to be seen with you. You know, it can mean another thing. Of course, I'm not also excluding the fact that it could mean that they are actually cheating. In the best case scenario, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're cheating. So don't be quick to jump into conclusion and say, hey, I watched this YouTube video and they told me that public affection is a necessity and you're never going to tell me if you want public affection and stuff like that. Like, come on, dude. Know your woman and then from there work around that, right? And you know very well the kind of woman that you have or the kind of woman that you're interested in, and then from there just work around it. So public affection, some women really find it much of a necessity in a relationship because it shows that you're proud of being with her. It shows that you're willing to you're not embarrassed by being with her, you know, like it shows that you love her enough to be seen with her in public, you know. And also it shows that you are not only willing to be with her only when it's behind closed doors. You're okay with being seen with her out there, you know. People can see you guys together and they can really embrace the relationship that you guys are trying to build, right? So public affection is one of the utmost important things that you need to keep in mind when it comes to things that your woman is not going to ask you, because she's never going to come to you and say, hey, you know what, I want you to show me public affection, or I want you to hold my hand, or I want you to hug me when you meet me, or I want you, like, come on, dude, you're the man. She can't be teaching you everything. She can't be telling you everything. Okay, of course, I can teach you everything, but she can't be teaching you everything. In some things, you just gotta make sure that you know them just by being the man, you know? Right? So moving on to the next point, of which it's actually a combined point, and this is the last point, right? And this is the I'm fine and I'm not hungry, right? So I'm sure all of you gents who are watching this already thinking, oh, I've heard that one before, where she says I'm fine and then she goes and sits in a corner and she doesn't want to talk to you or anything, right? So what you gotta know in that specific scenario is she's not fine. She just doesn't want to be bothered by you at the specific instance because you're probably the reason why she's not fine, you know? Or she's just in her emotions and she doesn't really have a specific reason why she's not fine, but at the same time she doesn't want to pretend like she's okay, you know? So she can't tell you that I'm not fine, but I don't know what's wrong. That sounds absurd, right? So she's probably gonna tell you I'm not fine, or she's probably gonna tell you I'm fine. And then where now you spend the whole day trying to figure out exactly what you did wrong or what went wrong. And in some instances, you actually didn't do anything wrong. In some instances, you did something wrong and she's expecting you to know exactly what you did wrong. However, unfortunately, the way ladies think and the way we think is so different, because us, on the other hand, when we do something wrong, us on the other hand, what we often do, and we and our woman actually gets angry at that, is not often what we expect for them to get angry at. You know, like for instance, if you go to sleep, fall asleep, or if she calls you and when you're asleep, right? And when you wake up and text her and now she's responding in a weird way and stuff like that. And yeah, to you, like, that is not something to be angry at because I slept. Like, you called whilst I was asleep. How was I supposed to know that the phone is ringing, right? However, to her, you were supposed to hear that ringtone, you're supposed to wake up and you're supposed to answer the phone. So make sure that when that instance comes and she says I'm okay, she's not okay. Just give her a space, but don't give her too much space, because if you give her too much space, she's gonna, if she didn't have a reason to be angry initially, she's gonna start being angry at you for actually giving her the space, right? So make sure that you know your woman, make sure that you read the room, make sure that you assess the situation, and then from there proceed with caution. You know, like, be there but don't be there, be present but don't be present, you know. Of course, these are some tips that I got, but moving on to the next part, which is or this half of this point, which is basically when she says I'm not hungry, and all of a sudden when you buy food, she's now digging into your food as well. So there are instances whereby she's actually not hungry, there are instances whereby she's actually hungry, right? So when she's not hungry and now all of a sudden when you buy her food she's hungry, it's because she was not hungry when you actually asked her if she was hungry. And now that you have food and now the food is in front of you, she's probably hungry now, or she has appetite, or she's interested in your food, right? So she's probably gonna dig in, of which I'm still gonna say, let her dig in, bro. Like, it's just food, nothing like that's nothing big, right? So make sure that you plan ahead on that. The second part is when she actually says I'm not hungry. it's usually because she actually doesn't know what she wants. Like she doesn't know. She knows that you're gonna ask, okay, fine, what do you want? If she says I'm hungry, and if she says I don't know what I want, now it's just a whole different issue, because some guys get worked up at that. So if she says I'm not hungry, and yeah, now she's actually hungry, but just doesn't know what she wants, because maybe she's in her emotions and stuff like that. When you bring your food, which is looking delicious, and the next thing is chai, she's digging on that food, right? So make sure that you know exactly what situation it is. And I would say that prepare beforehand. If she says she's not hungry, and when you're going to buy yourself food, make sure that you buy her food as well, because it's gonna help you. It's gonna save you from a lot of unnecessary stress. If your woman eating your food is stress for you, but I feel like for a lot of gents, or for some gents, it's nothing. Like, it's just food. I repeat, it's just food, nothing major, right? So those are the points that I have in terms of what your woman would actually expect you to know, but would never actually come forward and tell you that, okay, fine, this is what's up. So as a gent, by watching this video, I hope it did give you some insight, did give you some knowledge, in terms of what to expect and what to not expect, what to do and what to not do, and stuff like that, right? Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. To those who have subscribed, I thank you for your support, and to those who have not subscribed, make sure that you do leave a subscription, so that by the time I post my next video, of which I'm sure it's going to be a video of interest, you will not miss it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.